slideshow, but while we're doing that, I'd just like to thank the Cockrell family, all of the staff, and all of the collaborators out there, including both the Cockrell family and the staff. We're going to continue this collaboration because this is a group activity and it's been super amazing. So if you remember when I was bumbling in our first introductions, we were supposed to close our eyes and imagine accruing this knowledge as we, let's do that again because they're still working on that. We're going to close our eyes, we're going to do this Bible blitz, we're going to walk out and we're going to listen for bats, or we're going to listen for ultrasound, or we're going to listen for those ow. And I'm going to just give you a quick summary. Amazingly, there were very few mosquitoes in the habitat. Now, everybody says, oh, we got tons of mosquitoes, they bit us a lot. That was mostly one species, maybe two, and they were mostly on the edges of the habitat. So this is actually quite good news for your forest health, but it's also difficult. We had a very dry environment, which was punctuated by the very end, a little thunder shower. And now, if we went up there right now, our numbers might change. Okay, so here we are. So here we go. So let's let Dr. Nur give us the overview of what we found because we can summarize it all in one WhatsApp message.
Hello, hi, assalamualaikum, and very good afternoon. So we are doing actually preliminary survey of the mosquito diversity in Penang Hill. This is our second trial. The first preliminary study have been done last year, but we just doing at the public places near to the hotel and also near to the food court, and we just found like 4 species only. And then this year, when we continue for the second survey, we found at around 10 to 12 mosquito species, and yet there is other 2 species that aren't identified yet. What interestingly in this survey that we found that some of the species that not should be in the documented habitat. And then we still have to check with the taxonomies, and then also have to confirm that it may be the new species that we found. It's like, you know already that Aedes albopictus is a lot in the habitat, and it is the vector for the dengue and the Zika virus. And then Aedes nevus, that Aedes gallicola or Aedes poecilus, even though Aedes poecilus is found in Malaysia only in Pulau Jerjak, but there is some characteristic that confusing with the Ganicola, which is not found in Malaysia yet or any Asian country. This species we will going further with the DNA test, also we check with the taxonomies. And then Culeus falciparum is a very common species in Malaysia. Culex fasciatus, another vector. And then Amaryllis subalternus, also a vector mosquito. Lutzia species, this one also we need to go in further to know the species of this one. Aedes aegypti, we not found yet during these 2 weeks, but we found it in last year. Aedes species, that another 3 species that we still have to be confirmed. We have another one that should be actually. Okay.
So one of the things that Dr. Nur and her team, which we'll see in a second, we're super excited about was to use the idea of accessing new environments in the trees. And so we used, in using new trapping methods. Now, mosquitoes are attracted to us. We're actually the best bait for mosquitoes because we breathe and exhale CO2. And we also have pheromones, especially after heavy field work. And if you combine those things, you can try to use those same cues in traps. So we brought a small number of traps that we mixed CO2 and light traps, and also places for gravid females to lay eggs. And the cool thing we did was we put the traps in the trees. We also have a long-term collaboration that we want to do, so we're going to continue this and try to manage this over the iNaturals portal. So let's just get to the photos. Here's our gravid trap, and here's our super team. Everybody stand up there. Come on, come on. We need a thank you to Matsura, Akira, Kat, Ika, and they are now like certified mosquito trappers in the trees. We also got some, so here's our UV trap, and up there is a CO2 trap. And then here's just a few quick documentation photos. These are good enough photos for us to know, hey, that's that mosquito. And then we'll put it in a tube and we'll get some further information from DNA or for comparisons to specimens.
This species also is very, if you cannot see very light, it will have a light orange scrotum and also the blue lights near to the eyes. And then this species named also the Tripledorys bamusa. It's quite very interesting species, but this one, and then you can see it's a very metallic color on that body. But we, as I said before, we will going further to check with the expert on the taxonomies to confirm that species.
Yeah, and this one apparently has never been caught as an adult, which is really interesting. So it's been found in bamboo, but is that really the favorite habitat of this species? We don't know.
So this one is the Aedes gallicola. It's only found in Malaysia in Pulau Jereja, but it have some different habitat information and also misleading with the some characteristic on this species. This species also we will going further. We going to trap. Interestingly, we can caught this species every night in the same spot.
So that's really interesting. So let's just go to our primary spot. We had high hopes to get up very high in the trees, and we started out with this photo tree. And thanks for Wendy for the photo. And we rigged the traps up. They could go up to 15 meters high here. Here we are probably pulling the trap up into the tree. And one of the key issues there is to kind of know how to be safe. You put something heavy above your head, you don't want a headache. And then here's Dr. Nur and Ika looking at what we get at the end. So just a quick note, we had 5 traps, we ran them for 8 nights, that's 40 trap nights. We caught 36 mosquitoes. That's less than 1 per trap. And then we had up to 12, possibly 12 species. So that is actually super diverse to have so few individuals and so many species. Basically really good news. Not a lot of mosquitoes, but a lot of species, and very few of the vectors in the forest. So we thank you for your support, and you'll hear more from us later. Aloha.